There had to be an end of slavery. Then we were fighting an enemy with whom we could not make a peace. We had to destroy him. No convention, no treaty was possible, only destruction. I have no prejudice against sect or race, but want each individual to be judged by his own merit. The present difficulty in bringing all parts of the United States to a happy unity and love of country grows out of the prejudice to color. The prejudice is a senseless one, but it exists. I felt like anything rather than rejoicing at the downfall of a foe who had fought so long and valiantly and had suffered so much for a cause, though that cause was, I believe, one of the worst for which a people ever fought, and one for which there was the least excuse. I believe that our great Maker is preparing the world in his own good time to become one nation, speaking one language, and when armies and navies will be no longer required. Oh, I am heartily tired of hearing about what Lee is going to do. You must take it. I cannot live with anything in my possession that is not mine. I'm not near the drinker some people would like to believe. Although a soldier by profession, I have never felt any sort of fondness for war, and I have never advocated it, except as a means of peace. There's just one country. You and I, we're citizens of that country. I'm fighting to protect it from armed rebels, from you. The Southern Rebellion was largely the outgrowth of the Mexican War. Nations, like individuals, are punished for their transgressions. We got our punishment in the most sanguinary and expensive war of modern times. I repeat that the adoption of the 15th Amendment to the Constitution completes the greatest civil change and constitutes the most important event that has occurred since the nation came into life. The change will be beneficial in proportion to the heed that is given to the urgent recommendations of Washington. Keep the church and the state forever separate. I can assure you that these colored troops are regularly mustered into the service of the United States. Our conversation grew so pleasant that I almost forgot the object of our meeting. The war has made us a nation of great power and intelligence. I do not pretend to sustain the order. At the time of its publication, I was incensed by a reprimand received from Washington for permitting acts which the Jews within my lines were engaged in. I took no part myself in any such view of the case at the time, but since the war is over, reviewing the whole question, I have come to the conclusion that the saying is quite true. I propose to receive the surrender of the army of Envar on the following terms. I feel that we are on the eve of a new era when there is to be great harmony. I have given the subject of arming the Negro my hearty support. This, with the emancipation of the Negro, is the heaviest blow yet given the Confederacy. The South rave a great deal about it and profess to be very angry. It is a subject for congratulation that the great empire of Brazil has taken the initiatory step toward the abolition of slavery. Our relations with that empire, always cordial, will naturally be made more so by this act. Slavery was an institution that required unusual guarantees for its security wherever it existed, and in a country like ours, where the larger portion of it was free territory inhabited by an intelligent and well-to-do population, the people would naturally have but little sympathy with demands upon them for its protection. In this connection, I advise such legislation as will forever preclude the enslavement of the Chinese upon our soil. Treat the Negro as a citizen and a voter, as he is and must remain, and soon parties will be divided, not on the color line, but on principle. A measure which makes at once 4,000 people voters who were heretofore declared by the highest tribunal in the land not citizens of the United States, nor eligible to become so. Suffrage once given can never be taken away, and all that remains for us now is to make good that gift by protecting those who have received it. Where the citizen is sovereign and the official the servant, where no power is exercised except by the will of the people, it is important that the sovereign, the people, should possess intelligence. Complaints are made of this interference by federal authority, but if said amendment and act do not provide for such interference under the circumstances as above stated, then they are without meaning, force, or effect, and the whole scheme of colored enfranchisement is worse than mockery and little better than a crime. The framers of our Constitution firmly believed that a republican government could not endure without intelligence and education, generally diffused among the people.